Hey fam, hope you're all doing well. Happy Juneteenth. If you don't know what Juneteenth is, that's totally fine. We're gonna give you a couple of resources to help you and your family get educated around this holiday. And I'm just going to give you a couple of ways you can celebrate and why it's important to celebrate this holiday no matter who you are. Juneteenth is a holiday that African American people celebrate to commemorate the end of slavery in the United States. It sometimes is celebrated by having parades and barbecues, having a special church gathering just to worship and just to praise God for what He did. And this holiday can be celebrated by anybody, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, anybody. This holiday isn't just about celebration. It's a time that we get to really push into the conversation about the legacy that slavery left in America. And it's so important to address this with our children, especially with what's going on today, to address our history, to talk about it, and to see where God was in all of it. When the Israelites were freed from slavery, Moses said, remember this day in which you were led out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand the Lord brought you out of this place. And I just want to encourage you as families to take this time to celebrate Juneteenth and to have those conversations with your kids that will actually further the gospel of Jesus and His heart for liberation and freedom. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways that you and your family can celebrate this holiday and hopefully make it an amazing celebration. So number one, educate yourself. With all the internet and the things going around, there are so many resources, and we're just going to give you a few resources. There's children's books that you can read with your children to talk about Juneteenth. There's YouTube videos that share about it. If you have older kids, there's movies, there's documentaries, and hopefully some of our resources can help you to better talk about this. Number two, celebrate, party. Make it a big thing. Get excited for the freedom that God gave us. A lot of people have barbecues that day to bring people together. Decorate your house. My favorite, dance. If you don't got no rhythm, that's totally fine. Get up and get rowdy anyways. Have a Zoom party since some of us are still in shelter in place. Create a craft for your kids to help them connect. The biggest thing is to create memories, create traditions that make this an important thing for your children. Help them to connect it to this celebration that God has freed His people, that He loves His people, and He wants freedom for them. Number three, ask questions. Make space for those questions that your kids might have. Some of the questions that you could ask is, what does freedom mean to you? What do you think it meant to the slaves back then? Do you think that when they were freed, did everybody automatically like everybody? Do you think it was all equal right away? And that might actually further the conversation of what's actually going on today. And number four, the most important part of celebrating this holiday is getting our eyes focused on the God of the universe, who wants to free us, who wants liberation for our hearts, who wants us to be in holy communion with Him. Take the time to thank God for what He did for the African American people and what He will continue to do as we are ambassadors on this earth. We have a chance to really rejoice in the Lord for this moment. Let's not shy away from having these hard conversations with our kids. Let's not shy away from the ways that slavery has left a legacy of oppression. It will equip them to be better advocates for the people of God. Freedom is God's heart. Freedom is God's heart. He wants all of His children to be emotionally freed, spiritually freed, physically freed from bondage. And so this is a time we get to worship God, put on some of your favorite worship, anything you love, and just come together with your kids, come together with your family, and thank God for what he's done and what he will continue to do as he sets the captives free. I want to close with Exodus 15. This is the song that Moses sang right after the people were freed. And who among the gods is like you, Lord? Who is like you? Majestic in holiness, awesome in glory, working wonders. You stretch out your right hand and the earth swallows your enemies. In your unfailing love, you will lead the people you have redeemed. In your strength, you will guide them to your holy dwelling. This Juneteenth, take this time to celebrate what God has done for the African American people. Take this time to rejoice that he is calling us to his holy dwelling place. And just remember that God is seeking oneness, not sameness. We are not the same, but we can be one. God bless you and have an amazing Juneteenth.